everybody, I have something special to share with you today. I've been a little busy, but I wanted to try something different. And I saw, I don't remember, it was a long time ago, I saw somebody doing something similar to these, but I don't remember who. But I know it's not my idea, and I know everybody does them, but I wanted to give it a try. And so I've done a collection of 12, and they're 8 3/4 by 5.5 journals, writing journals. And I'm going to take this one and show you what I'm talking about. They're all very similar, all but the covers are different. And a couple of pages inside might be different, like this. And all of the covers comes from Dot's Inspiration shop that you can find on Etsy. All of the cover prints came from there. And what makes these to me special is number one, it's a small journal, and number two is I use my watercolor paper, my Strathmore 140-pound watercolor paper for the covers, and I have a laser printer, and I used it to print the prints on, so you get this fabulous cover, color and everything. And then the watercolor paper just is so exquisite, and I really fell in love with the way that these look. Each one of them is different, and inside what you have is, I printed both sides on the cover, 2 different prints, and then inside each one it could be different. It depends on what collection of Dot's Inspiration Studio prints. Like this is the Navy and Roses. Could have 1 up to 3 of these special papers, like this one, printed on one side, but you can still journal on that. And then all of the other pages are from my porch prints. These gorgeous blank pages like this. And this is printed on parchment paper throughout. And then these are the 28-pound copy paper, vanilla. And so you can see here's the color vanilla. And each one of these journals have these pages in it, basically lined and unlined, and a lot of them are like this that you see. They're just beautiful papers, great to journal in. And then like this one has 2. This is another copy, another print from Navy and Roses, and it's on the parchment paper, so it feels totally different than the rest of them. And then I'm just going to flip through this one real quick. There's 60 pages, counting fronts and backs, and each one of them is like this. There's no envelopes, there's no pockets. It's all for writing or taking down your notes. And this one has another one. So this one has 3 of the parchment papers in there, and then that's the center. They've been hand sewn using the Irish linen, wax linen thread, and they'll be up on Etsy. I got a really special price on these for you. And I got a write-up on each one, and each one comes with its own sari silk, a vintage-looking sari silk ribbon on them. And let me just go through. Now this is Navy and Roses A, and this will be Navy and Roses B. So it's just the covers. I didn't show you the back cover, but the pictures will be on Etsy, and each one of these are going to be treated like a separate identity on Etsy. So it'll have its own little write-up, and it will have they're all the same price, they're all the same amount of pages, they're all of the covers are from the same place, Dot's Inspiration Studio, that's on Etsy, and all the inside papers are from my porch prints, which is the same paper, all 60 pages front and back. And so just let me show you the prints that I chose to put on the covers. This is one. This one is watercolor botanical. I just thought they were gorgeous, and they turned out beautiful. But the hand on these covers is what makes them, I don't know, I just fell in love with them. And then each one of them has its inside cover, and then a parchment page right at the front. And then this one has another parchment page there, and then all of the rest of them, which comes from the collection of Dot's Inspiration Studio. And then all the rest of them, as you see, is my porch prints. And then here's the back, and here is the back cover. Beautiful watercolor botanical prints. And so that's one. And then that's A. And then B would be this one. And then, like I said, it won't be so hard to follow on Etsy because it's all separate. And they all have their own photographs. And here's the inside of Watercolor Botanical B. And I'll just put them over here like that. And here's Watercolor Botanical C. Inside cover. This is my little notes to keep them separate. And they get some of them got the green sari silk, some of them gets the ruby. And this is Watercolor Botanical D. And here's the inside. You really have to have them in your hand to appreciate this feel. I got that one upside down, sorry. This is the front. And then you can go through it. This is the back covers, and that's the back cover. And like I said, Watercolor Botanical D. And then this is Botanical E, the last one in that group. I mean, the depth of each one of these and the layers that's underneath it that they did whenever they created all of these prints, they did a wonderful job on them. But like I said, you'll be able to get a better look at each individual one on Etsy. And this one is going to be called, he's all by himself. And this one was Receipts Collage, because it's just a collage of a lot of receipts. And again, you can see all of the gorgeous pages in here. Now this is my porch prints, blank and line pages. I have two different collections of those on my computer. And this is one of my favorites. Sunflower A. And here's the inside cover. And then again, all the same, blank. And here's another parchment page in here. I tried to pick out if they had a parchment page that I could print on parchment, and it still left you enough room to journal is what I was doing with these, and why not everybody got the same amount, because in the collections of these there's usually one or two up to maybe two blank, but had still some significant art on it that you could print, that you could write on. Now this is Sunflower 2, and it's the one that says Le Journal on the top. And there's the parchment paper here. And then again, all of my porch prints. And here's another parchment. And then the back and then the back cover. The back cover on this one is like newspapers and the floral, but I hate to keep repeating myself, but it's like you'll be able to see it on Etsy. And then the last two, number 11 and 12, that was Sunflower A and B. And this one is going to be Iris A and B. Let me take off their sari silk. Really a pretty purple and yellow. And then on the inside front cover, and then again the same papers. They're in different order, but they're the same count and the same papers. So what you'd basically be doing is just picking out which cover that you like. And this sari silk has a little black stamp printed on it, a little black circle. And then this will be Iris B, and it's got more printing on it. And then here's the inside cover for it, and inside cover for it. And then here's all of the, and then here's the back, and there's the back cover for that. So that was what I was working on, and I got very excited because I just fell in love with these, the feel of these, and the front cover is, like I said, it's just exquisite. But then the laser printer, I don't always use my laser printer. I use my inkjet printer most of the time because I can get to borderless borders on my prints that I put in my journals, which means I can print all the way to the end of the paper. I don't have that white space that gets cut out, and then that makes your pages smaller. So on the laser printer you can't do that. My laser printer is not borderless printing, so it was great to do this because on my art paper, these are the watercolor papers that if I was doing art, which I've done, for years, painting and then framing, that's what this is. It's a heavy watercolor paper, and then I just cut them to the exact size to fit the 5.5 by 11 paper that I was using inside, 8 by 11. And so it just worked out really fine. And then I picked out all of the page covers, and then I decided on the inside I'd like them all to be approximately the same. So I always love my porch prints blank and lined pages because they have those gorgeous borders around it, and they're just vintage looking, and they're edged already. And whenever I print those on borderless, which I printed the inside on borderless, I go right out and get the full size of the page. So I really like that. So let me know what you think about them. They'll be up on Etsy sometimes today, I'm sure. And I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you, but they're only $22 each. And I just wanted to be able to give back something that not everybody can put in their budget journals like I make, and I realize that. But those are quite different. They take a lot of time and a lot of supplies to have on hand to be able to continually make journals like I make, handmade journals. So I hope you enjoyed it. Just let me know, and thanks so much for watching, and have a good day. Bye-bye.